It was bound to happen, after falling behind European manufacturers like BMW, Ducati, and KTM in applying advanced electronics to motorcycles. Japan has finally hit back, and hit back hard. When the world's economies went south, Japanese motorcycle companies were hit hardest and have waited longest to reinvest in the Sportbike class. But the wait is over. Yamaha has picked up where those others left off and introduced motop technologies to the new YZF-R1 just a few short years after Lorenzo and company first utilized some of them. This has brought a whole new level of sophistication and refinement to the superbike buying customer. Make no mistake, the 2015 R1 is a game changer. Instead of making a great street bike that was also capable of race-winning track performances, these brand new machines were designed to excel on the track first, while also maintaining good street manners. What makes the R1 stand out isn't the brand new engine, chassis or styling, which we'll talk more about later, but the outstanding electronics suite controlled by Yamaha's proprietary 6-axis inertial measurement unit that allows the rider to get the most out of the bike's performance. Our first ride on the R1 took place at Sydney Motorsports Park, aka Eastern Creek, in Australia. This track absolutely has it all: a Banzai 5th gear turn 1, mixed in with tight S's, fast sweepers, and plenty of hard braking followed by hard acceleration zones. Off-cambers and blind crests only add to the track's challenges. With so many electronic adjustments available, the combinations are practically endless. In order to get the most out of the 6 sessions planned for the day, 3 on the base model and 3 on the R1M, I focused on the basics: traction control system (TCS), slide control system (SCS), and lift control system (LIF), while leaving ABS and the quick shift system (QSS) in defaults for most of the sessions, and never getting a chance to try the launch control system. Our first sessions were spent aboard the standard bike, but fitted with Bridgestone's new RS10R Super Sport Spec rubber in place of the bike's OEM RS10 fitment. To get a feel for the track, I toggled the bike's power mode to the second of 4 output settings. This mode allows full power with a slightly less abrupt throttle response. In my first session I selected TCS 4 of 9, Lift 3 most intervention, and the SCS with the most intervention. In that first session while learning the track, the extra intervention from the systems provided a great mental safety net, but the level of refinement from all of the R1's electronic systems means that at a less than flat-out pace the systems are difficult to detect. By my third session on the standard bike, I had dialed back TCS to 1, Lift to 1, SCS to 2, and set power to mode 1, full power, lively delivery. The effectiveness of traction control and slide control were much more apparent when dialed back, the electronics now allowing the power to be far more aggressively laid to the track. On cold tires early in the session, I pitched the bike into a corner on a neutral throttle and was able to inadvertently feel the SCS react as the rear tire slid. It was definitely a slightly different reaction than TC, as I wasn't on the throttle that aggressively. The wheelie control works so effectively that dialing it back to allow a better drive onto the front straight and out of tight corners tamed the front end enough to keep the tire from going sky high, but not killing too much drive. Unlike the Ducati Superleggera's wheelie control that I first experienced a year ago, the R1 system is incredibly smooth and never abruptly cuts power to tame wheelies. It simply doesn't allow the wheelie to float up too high in the first place, which means that it doesn't disrupt chassis stability by slamming it down. According to Yamaha's engineers, TCS, LIF, and SCS utilize fuel cuts, ignition retard and throttle butterfly manipulation to achieve the desired result, which makes its intervention feel precise and smooth. With the confidence of knowing the layout of the track, I was able to pick up the pace and get a great feel for how potent the new engine is. With a more aggressive and revvy nature, the Crossplan crank engine feels far more racy than the previous generation bike. But what impressed me the most is how well the entire package works together. The engine on its own, provides ample and usable mid-range to top-end power, allowing you to carry a gear taller through tight corners that might otherwise require an additional downshift. Combine the engine's usable nature and smooth delivery with the excellent lean angle sensing electronics, and I had the confidence to get on the throttle much earlier and more assertively than my brain would typically allow. So seamless and refined are the TCS and SCS that it only took a few sessions to put total faith in them. There is no question that the combined effect of this engine and the electronics allows you to ride far faster, lap after lap, than most riders would be able to achieve without their presence. This bike is all about speed, which it delivers in huge doses, but the level of composure it has is amazing. A perfect example is how relaxed I felt behind the windscreen at the top of 5th gear on the main straight. The combination of a roomier, new ergonomic layout, including a flatter seat and lower tank, great aerodynamics, and taller, more protective windscreen creates a calm cockpit even at 180 miles per hour.